it's time to revisit some of our most treasured, traumatic childhood memories.
My orders are that every child in England shall be rubbed out.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 scariest scenes from non-Disney kids films. Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we're taking a look at the most frightening scenes from movies that were marketed as family-friendly.
Is that any way to talk to your mother? You aren't my mother.
As the title suggests, we've excluded any movies produced by Walt Disney Animation Studios. If you want to see Mickey and the gang at their most horrifying, be sure to check out our list of the top 10 darkest and scariest Disney moments. Oh, and if you haven't guessed, a spoiler alert may be in order.
All I ask is a tall ship and a star to sail her by. All aboard, everybody!
Number 10, Large Marge, Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Thanks for stopping.
A movie as bizarre as Pee-wee's Big Adventure would not be complete without a totally random jump scare. After hitching a ride from a truck driver, Pee-wee quickly comes to realize that there's something off about the woman behind the wheel. The suspense keeps building as Large Marge recounts the worst accident she ever saw.
10 years ago, along this same stretch of road.
It all culminates with her making a petrifying face, which is guaranteed to catch you off guard.
It looked like this.
To make matters even more disturbing, it's later revealed that Marge was a ghost the whole time.
That means the Large Marge I was riding with was...
her ghost.
This sequence is like something out of the Twilight Zone, but still maintains the wacky spirit of Pee-wee Herman.
Have a nice day.
Number 9, Unicron Eats a Planet. The Transformers, the movie.
Marvelous! Look! It's Unicron!
We're not exactly sure how this scene will sell a kid's toy, but then again, we're not marketers. We get a glimpse at just how powerful and terrifying Unicron is early on in this movie, when the sentient cyber planet swoops in and literally consumes an entire planet, inhabitants and all. What may be the most disturbing part is that we get to see all of these creatures going about their daily lives, playing, walking, drinking, before disaster strikes, and they must prepare for the inevitable. The planet crumbles as it's sucked in, and ultimately chomped to smithereens by the giant being. The lucky ones die along with their planet, because the survivors are digested by Unicron.
The ships! Get to the ships! It's our only chance!
Number 8, The Tunnel of Doom. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Hey, Daddy, I want a boat like this. A beautiful paddle boat, that's what I want.
This light-hearted classic suddenly throws a piece of dark chocolate into the mix as Willy Wonka's guests hop aboard his extravagant boat.
Oh, what's that tunnel up there? Hey, Wonka, I want off!
Although it appears to be smooth sailing at first, the pleasure cruise becomes a descent into madness once the passengers enter a tunnel. This scene not only throws every screwed-up image imaginable at us, Wonka also recites completely nutty poetry.
There's no earthly way of knowing
He's singing.
which direction we are going.
Once Wonka starts screaming at the top of his lungs, we half expect him to murder everyone on board.
And they're certainly not showing any signs that they are slowing.
The trippy boat ride comes to an abrupt halt though, making the audience feel as if they've awoken from a nightmare.
Stop the boat.
We're there.
Number 7, The Great Owl. The Secret of Nim.
Come inside or go away.
Animator Don Bluth's first feature-length directorial outing has no shortage of creepy moments. Ironically, the scariest character in the film isn't one of the bad guys, but a creature that actually aids our protagonist. As Mrs. Brisby enters a lair littered with bones and cobwebs, she's practically devoured by a dastardly spider. Although the Great Owl steps in and saves her, he's just as intimidating. With a ghastly design and thunderous voice, it's clear that this predator could crush Mrs. Brisby like a bug.
Why have you come?
The courageous little mouse doesn't back down, however, and the great owl sends her on the right path, albeit a bit shaken up, just like the rest of us.
There is a way. Go to the rats.
Number 6. The Witch Conference, The Witches.
You may remove your shoes.
From Roald Dahl's imagination and the Jim Henson Company's technical wizardry, The Witches pulls no punches when it comes to scaring the bejesus out of kiddies. While Angelica Houston's Grand High Witch is pretty threatening in her human disguise, her true form is flat out terrifying. Along with her fellow witches, Miss Ernst peels off her mask to expose a balding head, bulging eyes, and a beak-like nose. And this witch is as wicked as she looks, disintegrating those who are insubordinate and turning children into mice. After watching this scene, you can bet that every kid in the audience will be forever weary of witches and strangers.
I demand maximum results.
Number 5. The Child Catcher, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Here we are, children. Come and get your lollipops.
Chitty Chitty Bang Bang is a magical car that brings happiness to the Potts family. It also gets them into trouble when the tyrannical Baron Bombburst steals the impressive ride for himself. The family travels to his home of Bulgaria in order to retrieve the car, and finds that all of the children there have been imprisoned due to the Baroness's hatred for them.
Baroness, she hates children.
Who could hate children?
As you might expect, Jeremy and Jemima Potts find themselves face to face with the child catcher before long, and he's as creepy as his name suggests.
Cherry pies, cream puffs, ice cream, treacle top.
He uses the classic child kidnapper line, offering his prey something sweet if they come with him. Of course, they do, and are trapped by the child catcher.
Go inside, my little dears.
Number 4. Fievel Goes Overboard, An American Tale.
Don't move.
Another film directed by Don Bluth, An American Tale sends us on an emotional roller coaster as Fievel is separated from his family at sea. The idea of falling overboard in the middle of a storm is already scary enough. This scene takes matters to a whole new level of terror by making the storm feel alive. The animators give this body of water the presence of a monster that can swallow Fievel whole. Fortunately, the young mouse makes it to shore alive and well. Unfortunately, it turns out there are cats in America.
You're not a rat, you're a cat.
How'd you get in here?
Number 3. The Other Mother, Coraline.
Mom? What are you doing here in the middle of the night?
You're just in time for supper, dear.
In an age where most family films play it safe with bright images and cute characters, Coraline is never afraid to embrace everything gothic and weird.
I'm your other mother, silly. Now go tell your other father that supper's ready.
While Coraline's other parents seem loving and nurturing at first glance, something foreboding awaits behind their button eyes. Once the other mother reveals her true colors, Coraline must fight to save her real parents.
Now, you're going to stay here forever.
Mommy Dearest only becomes more sinister as the plot progresses, leading to a heart-pounding climax in which Coraline gets caught in her web. You will never look at needles the same way again.
Where are you? You selfish rat!
Number 2. All Dogs Go to Hell. All Dogs Go to Heaven.
You can never come back.
Making yet another appearance on this list, Don Bluth literally drags us to hell in this devilish sequence. After Charlie the German Shepherd rejects heaven and returns to Earth, he begins to fear where his soul will end up. During a nightmare, Charlie spirals down into an underworld complete with fire, demons, and an actual hellhound. You wouldn't think an animated G-rated film would get too graphic with its depiction of the Inferno. Yet this scene's horrific imagery truly makes the audience feel like they've been sentenced to eternal damnation. Let's just hope that all dogs really do go to heaven.
Charlie, wake up.
Before we get to our top pick, here are some honorable mentions. Number 1, Buried Underground. Watership Down.
Holly, it's me, Bigwig.
Any scene from this animated adaptation of Richard Adams' novel could have taken our number 1 spot. With adorable bunnies suffering gritty, bloody deaths left and right, it's actually incredible that Watership Down was rated PG. Of course, the rating system was very different back in 1978. Perhaps the most shocking moment in the film is when the wounded Holly recounts being buried alive with his herd.
Yeah, to the bad. Runs blocked with dead bodies. We couldn't get out.
The masterful animation captures all the desperation, claustrophobia, and sheer horror of being confined to a small area. It feels more like something out of a war picture than a family film, scarring everybody in the theater for life. We thought cartoons were supposed to be fun.
Men have always hated us.
No. They just destroyed the Warren because we were in their way.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.